What you guys, today we're taking a look at, does turning off visual effects make a difference? Does it gain FPS and does it give you PC performance boost? That's what we're looking at in this video. Now, if you go on YouTube or on the internet, you're going to see a ton of YouTube channels or even web articles. You can see that they will claim that this will boost PC performance and even give you more FPS. There's tons of YouTube videos that claim this on the internet. And again, once you get into the advanced performance options here, you'll see that it's set by default to let Windows choose what's best for my computer. Now, there's also other ones here like adjust for best appearance. And of course, there is that radio button that says adjust for best performance. This is the one they claim that you should use. And some of them even offer you to check mark a couple of little boxes down here for a custom one. And of course, they claim that this is going to give you more FPS and performance boost in your PC. Now, either they know that this doesn't work or they're just using it as clickbait to get loads of views so they can earn revenue on YouTube. But when you look inside Task Manager here under the GPU tab, when you wiggle it about here, you will see utilization going up a little bit when it's set to let Windows choose what's best for my computer. And you can see on the 3D graph bar the utilization that it's using. And you can see that on the 3D graph and the utilization here. And we're on the let Windows choose what's best for my computer. So you may be thinking that because we got this set here and we wiggle it around here and we starting to see utilization being used, you may be thinking that by putting this onto adjust for best performance, that you are going to get more FPS on your game. And that's just simply not the case. You're not going to get any more PC performance either. Now, you can see the utilization did go down once we changed it, but it's gone back to exactly where it was when it says let Windows choose what's best for my computer. Now, when we wiggle this one around a little bit on the screen, you'll see the utilization go up. Now, there might be a slight difference in utilization, not a major amount, probably around about 8%. It could be less, give or take. But depending on, I can't replicate how hard I'm wiggling that Task Manager window, but you'll get a general idea of what the difference is. And this is because this is, the interface that we're moving around. And this is all of the graphics settings that we have in here turned on. So obviously it's going to use a bit more GPU, a little bit. But you're not going to be wiggling this around or using any of the Windows features while playing games. So really, that is not going to help you any way, shape or form when you're playing games. So I'm wiggling it around now and you can see there's a slight difference. I think you'll agree it just looks absolutely horrible. And anyone would think that we're in Pentium 4 days where we're having to use an old computer with really poor graphics and having to try to turn things down just to make it more usable. This is 2022 and most people have got a pretty decent graphics card. And, you can shake this around. It's not really, a proper scientific test, but because this is moving and it's a graphic image and it's moving around on the screen, it's having to use the GPU. The CPU doesn't really get taxed too much, just uses a tiny bit of it for processing, but really it's not that bad. And the memory doesn't hardly get touched, if at all. And this is the thing with these sort of things. These old, tweaks that have been around for many, many years, people are obsessed with this sort of tweak. And it's really been built into Windows for many years. And it's nothing new. And again, of course, your GPU is going to be utilized because we're moving that Task Manager box around. And if I take away all of the fancy graphic features on there and we move it around, there's going to be no graphics there, no image there. And that's it. That's what you're getting. So, of course, it's going to reduce it a little bit, but that's not going to give you more FPS in games because you're not going to be shaking that box around when you're playing games. When you leave them idle, they are both equal. They are not being used at all. So it's only when you're physically moving that around that it actually goes up. And it might be, for a lot of people, they just get, pulled into this world of, this is a must-have tweak. This will give you more performance. And it's just really not the case. So stop falling for this sort of nonsense and just use your computer for what it's for and do what you need to do. It's not utilizing the CPU too much when you do this either. It just goes up a little teeny bit, but you would expect that because you're actually moving something on your computer or doing something. And this is the thing, people are obsessed with processes running in the background. And yeah, more processes do run on later operating systems because we have more features built into the actual operating system. And then people will want to take those out just to game on. Well, what are you gaming on? Well, if you've got a 2070 Super, which is on this little system here with a Ryzen 7 3800X, I have no trouble whatsoever playing games. I don't get no stuttering, no jerking or anything like that on the screen. And I play my game and I enjoy it. I can even have the settings right up if I want to. And there's modern graphics cards today like the 4090 and things like that out there. There's people doing tweak videos with high-end gear which don't make no sense because it's not going to benefit you in any way, shape or form, especially if you're capping your FPS anyway. What's the point? So let's go ahead and run this benchmark with the settings on. So this is with let Windows choose my settings, and I'll quickly give you a benchmark here of FPS and score, minimum FPS and maximum FPS. I'll save that screenshot. You can pause it if you like. Just going to go back in here and make these changes for you. And we'll go back into the performance options here and go in here and we'll apply all of these. I'm not going to put any check marks in them. We're going to turn everything off and we'll run that test again, the same benchmark, and we'll give it another go. The settings are on here exactly the same. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. And we'll see what the results are once this is finished. And there we go. There's the results. There's the FPS. There's the score. There's the minimum FPS and the maximum FPS on there. Now, remember, you can run this 3 times on each individual test, and that will give you an average. That's the best way to do it. But I've just done a quick test here just to show you with one test on one and one on another. So they're probably going to be within margin of error. They're not going to be that far apart. And there we go. There's the results on the screen, as you can see. So let Windows choose what's best for my computer. FPS is 130.4, whereas on the other one, adjust for best performance is 129.8. And again, the score for the adjust best performance is 3,269, whereas on the let Windows choose is 3,284. So as you can see so far, let Windows choose is higher so far. Minimum, it goes to the best performance, but on the maximum, it goes to let Windows choose what's best for my computer. So Windows does know what it's doing. It is giving you a better performance. So as you can see, let Windows choose what's best for my computer comes out on top, but not by a lot. And again, it's probably margin of error. There's not a massive amounts of difference there. And that is the point of this video, is to help people understand that a lot of this stuff they're seeing is just rubbish. It doesn't do anything for you. And this is not about, you know, trying to discredit people or anything like that. It's about misinformation that people are spreading, and it's just not good. And as you can see by the results here, you're not going to see any difference. If you don't believe me, have a look at what Raymond Chen said. Adjust visual effects for best performance should really be called adjust visual effects for the crappiest appearance. So starting with Windows Vista, a lot of the visual effects were offloaded to the graphics card. Consequently, the impact on the system performance for those visual effects is negligible. And sometimes turning off the effects actually makes the system run slower because you disable hardware acceleration, forcing operations to be performed in software. And this was written in March 27th, 2013. And this is a Microsoft poster. The guy works for Microsoft, so he knows what he's talking about. But I thought this article would add some credibility to what I'm saying. So when you come down here a little bit in the post, you'll see, so it says, congratulations, by disabling the desktop composition, you made the art of uncovering a window run slower. You will see the same effect when switching between maximum windows. Okay, so if unchecking those visual effects has negligible and sometimes even negative effect on performance, why do we still present them in visual effects control panel for people to disable? And he says basically because enthusiasts who think they are so awesomely clever love disabling anything that makes their computer look pretty because they're convinced that the effort making the computer look pretty is clearly done at the expense of performance. And you can see here, you can read all the way through this if you wish. But really, at the end of the day, it says the visual effects settings page turned into some sort of unintended psychological experiment. So you're not going to see any sort of performance boost or FPS boost by enabling best performance. It's just not going to happen. And I can imagine there's a lot of people out there that are still not going to believe it. As it says in this post, you know, they're going to continue to believe that that is not true, and what they're doing does have an impact on their PC because they're doing it right now, and it's a placebo effect. It really doesn't do anything. But I've been saying this for a long time, and unless you're running something like an old Pentium 4 in 2022, like this one here, that has really little bit of RAM in it, and you've got hardly any graphics in there, and you trying to run Windows 10, then maybe turning off those graphic interface when you're using the computer might make your experience a little bit more pleasant. But let's be honest, you shouldn't be using an old potato PC with Windows 10 or Windows 11 on it in 2022 with that sort of hardware. It's just stupid. And again, at the end of the day, if that helps you understand that this is not going to have any sort of impact on FPS or performance boost, then stop believing those stupid videos you see online and articles. I can't remember how many times we've had these debates in Discord or on the internet in the comments section, but it is just what the internet is today. But anyway, with that said, let me know your views in the comments section. I'll be happy to read your comments and answer your comments down there. And my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who have joined my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support. Enjoy your weekend, and I shall see you on the Discord server for a chat, or I shall see you in the very next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.